Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today, Natalie. Natalie is joining us from Leads and Revenue, and what she does is she uses AI and coaches AI specifically for real estate agents to help you guys get clients and build out leads. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Natalie. If you want to say hello.
Hello, thank you, Madeline, for the great intro. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be here on the celebration of Coldwell Banker. That's an honor.
Yes, absolutely. We're happy to have you. And the reason why we're also here today is because Masood found Natalie at a NAREB event not too long ago here in Dallas. So I would be remiss if I didn't let Masood say a few words as well.
Good morning, everyone. Happy birthday, Coldwell Banker, and hello, CB Realty Texas. Thank you all for joining us. And exactly right, like the power of networking and our network. I was fortunate enough to be invited to support and celebrate a couple of our agents at an RUP event here in DFW, and I saw Natalie's presentation. The leaders that I was with we were all wowed, and I just reached out, introduced myself, and said, our company does a great job with AI. Our marketing team does a great job on teaching AI, but we want to take it next level. We want to make sure we're supplying and supporting our agents with all the cutting edge material. So I had asked Natalie to join us. And with that in mind, please, think about the early adopters of the internet, MLS, social media. There's so many naysayers, so many people saying, oh, that's never going to stick. You're never going to sell a house because of, social media, or, the internet's a fad. Believe it or not, people are actually saying that. So be an early adopter. Look where those people what they've done and where they've taken their business. So, like Madeline said, we can't tell you have to do it, but we strongly encourage you to leverage the tools and services and these great speakers that we're able to bring to you. So with that, Natalie, please kick us off and tell us everything we need to know about AI and real estate.
I'm excited. So, Madeline, are we good to share the screen and really jump into the presentation?
Yes, go for it. One quick reminder for everyone to keep their microphones muted. If you do have a question, please put that in the Q&A section or the chat, or you can raise your hand, but Natalie has a lot to get through. But go ahead, Natalie. Thanks so much.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and share our screen. Okay, thumbs up if we can see my screen. Awesome, perfect. Well, I'm excited to be here for everybody here. We have a room full of real estate professionals, and I will tell you, I speak at a lot of real estate events, and if you are already in this room, you're already ahead of probably 70% of real estate professionals out there. So I highly encourage you to have your phone out, have your computer out, have ChatGPT open, and take a lot of notes. What we're going to be going through here is actionable, and I want you to walk away feeling like you accomplished something this morning. So our focus with AI today is going to be around creating content that converts. I see we have a few watch parties in the room. Raise your hand if you're creating content on social media. Let's see here. Okay, I see one on Adrienne's team, Jennifer's team. Lots of hands here. Vanessa's team, we got lots of hands. Perfect. And let's get a raise of hands if you really don't like posting on social media or you find it hard to be consistent. Be honest here. I feel that all the time. Okay, now we got a lot more hands up raised. So we're going to talk about in the next 57 minutes, I'm going to just try to share as much information as possible on how to streamline this process and how to do it in a way to where if we set the system up one time, it can flow for us, or it can automate things for us as smoothly as possible. And so the goal here is to take you from being a business owner who's burnt out from posting daily, not getting good quality leads, to getting good quality leads, being able to show up on social media consistently without having to be on your phone 24/7. And I want to touch on a really strong point that Masood said just a moment ago. And this is the fourth great shift. this is what we are experiencing right now, and it feels a little bit different than anything you might have experienced before. So the first great shift was the Industrial Revolution. This allowed us to mass produce things. Then in the 1990s, we had the internet boom. Social media in the 2000s, this allowed us to connect with people instantly. And now we have the AI revolution. And believe it or not, we are still in the beginning stages of this. And it's probably only been 2 years since it's gone mainstream, but you see how fast it's moving just in those short 2 years. What happens if you don't catch up now? You're going to get fallen behind. You're not going to be able to compete with other realtors who are using these tools to leverage themselves. So with that in mind, we want to go into this with the mindset of being an early adopter, because early adopters are going to win every single time, especially in the real estate space, because real estate is such a traditional business that whenever you introduce technology such as social media or AI, then that can shift the way that we get results completely. Where most agents are still doing things the old way, cold calling, sending cold emails, and all of those work, but AI tools are becoming the mainstream. And this doesn't mean I'm going to give you 20 AI tools and say, hey, you have to sign up for 20 subscriptions. That's not what our goal is going to be today. I want to show you how to use it strategically. I want to show you the 3 shifts that allow you to get clients and get a predictable amount of clients. I'm going to show you the formula on how to turn your mind, your brain, how to create a second brain that can create content for you. And yes, we will also go over some of the best AI content creation tools. But I see a lot of AI content. I go to a lot of AI events, and there's a lot of misinformation or just not the best information out there that can keep you distracted, that can steer you off of your original goal. If your original goal is going to be to get clients, what we don't want to focus on is collecting a bunch of tools. What we do want to focus on is the strategy behind which we use these tools. And specifically with content creation, the secret behind this is distribution over creation. I'll go over what that means in just a moment, but I want to play a quick game here. You're not going to get anything if you win. You're not going to get anything if you lose. But what this is going to tell me is where you're at with your mindset, where we're at with how we're thinking about content. So who's ready to play a game of true and false? Perfect. If you believe it's true, just feel free to raise your hand. If you believe it's false, keep your hands down. First one, let's go. Posting more content will eventually get you more clients. Raise your hand if you believe that's true. Loretta says true. Adrian's team says true. Vanessa's team says true. I am sorry to say, this is false. Posting more content will not eventually get you clients. So most businesses believe that posting more content is correlated to getting content. But if you're only posting generic content, the top 5 things you need to know about the real estate space, here are the 3 market updates. These are not going to grab your ideal customer's attention, which means if you don't hold on to their attention, they are not going to come to you whenever they're ready to do a deal or to take that next step forward. I've seen businesses with 300 followers outperform businesses with 30,000 followers because the person with 300 followers had a system to get those people into clients. All right, let's go to the next one. Raise your hand if you believe this is true. AI will save me time once I learn all these tools. All right, Jennifer's team, everybody put their hands up all at once. Masood says yes. All right, we got some hands. Okay, got it. This is true-ish. AI is powerful, but a lot of times it actually makes things worse. And the reason being is because people are focusing more on what AI can do instead of what they need it to do. So a big misconception I want to break today is that you don't need 17 AI tools and a bunch of skills in order for this to work for you. If you believe AI is supposed to save you time, then we want to take away that feeling of overwhelm, that weight of, oh my God, I'm so behind, I have so much to learn. And we want to look at now of what can AI do for me today that's going to, take me away from the boring stuff. That's going to take me away from doing the things I don't like to do, so I can focus on the things that light me up, that create that fire inside of me, that allow me to show up excited every single day. All right, last question. Raise your hand if you believe this is true. AI, if I just work harder, the leads will come. Who has this true belief? Not a lot of people in the room? Maybe a little. Work smarter, not harder. That's right, Sean. That is false. This belief runs very, very deep. You might feel like the only way to grow is by doing more, and that's what's going to keep you stuck. So the system that we're going to be going through is going to allow you to learn how to use AI strategically, how to use it smarter, and to break this belief that you need to do more. You need to get onto this content treadmill, this content rat race, in order for this to be successful for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. Go ahead and pull out your phones, take notes, and we're going to dive into this. A little bit about me. Madeline made a great intro, but I want to tell you more about what AI has been able to do for me in my business. In the year of 2020, the end of 2023, I decided to go all in with AI. And this allowed me to spend all of 2024 traveling across 10 different countries and managing my business from my phone. The only reason I was able to do this is because I built systems one time that was able to run for me and bring clients to me. It was able to get attention to me, and I didn't have to focus on being in front of the camera 24/7. And now we've helped a couple dozen of business owners learn how to use AI to be able to do the same things for themselves. So you'll see this pictures of me on a random Tuesday climbing the volcano in Ecuador, and that's what I really want for you, is to have that freedom to get up and go on a random Tuesday and, go to your kid's soccer game, or go travel, or go to that restaurant that you've really been looking for. We're going to have that end goal in mind. And so with the system that we've built, this is called the clone and convert model. I've tested a lot of different things. I've been that person who went down the rabbit hole and stayed up till 4 a.m. testing AI tools. And what I found is there was no magic AI tool that was going to solve all my problems, but I could actually build this AI tool myself. And we're going to build ours together. What we're going to be building today is our second brain. And this is what our business calls the clone and convert model. This is the closest thing to having your marketing run itself. So no more just posting more and wishing something happens. This is going to be real strategy, real automation, and real results. So let's go back to the original point that we touched on before. Distribution over creation whenever we're discussing content creation. So the old way of content creation is you record a video, or maybe you have somebody on your team help you record a video, you post it, you have this really good feeling that it's probably going to go viral. It doesn't. You get a little sad, and then you wait 2 weeks to post another piece of content. In that moment, you're focusing on the creation of the content, being creative, and putting your 100% into that one piece. The new way of doing this is you create one piece of content, and this gets distributed everywhere. So this means that one idea can now become 10 need from you is to tell me what happened this week. Tell me about a client experience this week. Oh, I had a client who was really struggling to find ABC, and now she was able to find her dream home because we did this one thing. Let me tell you what that was. And you tell me a quick story about a real life experience rooted in what you were doing. And so this is what this visually looks like. We're taking this one core idea and we're using your AI tool to turn it into a LinkedIn post, an Instagram post, a YouTube post, maybe even an email newsletter, blog, a podcast snippet, or even a Facebook post. Do you see how powerful this is now? You don't have to come up with 10 different ideas just for 2 weeks of content. Now we can take one idea and now we can start showing up across all of these different platforms with less effort while also staying true to ourselves and our story and our experiences. We're getting away from the generic, real estate content that never really works, and we're leaning in towards content that's actually rooted in what your experience is, what your true stories are, what the case studies are with your working with your clients. And here's why this matters specifically for realtors. Your ideal clients, they are living so many different lives. Some of your clients are business owners. Some of your clients have families. Some of your clients are single. All of your ideal clients are going to be on different platforms. And consistency is going to beat perfection every single time when it means that we're showing up in front of them. And so whenever we're thinking about distribution of over creation, this means that my biggest goal now is to be everywhere all at once. And I want my ideal client to see me whenever they open up their Instagram. I want my ideal client to see me whenever they open up Facebook. They're going to feel like they can never get away from me because I'm always posting this really great content all the time. Consistency is always going to beat perfection. Perfection might look like a highly edited video that you had a videographer put together and edit for you. It looks nice, but it takes a lot of effort. Consistency beats perfection. AI is going to help us make this process effortless. So you'll be able to show up everywhere without working everywhere, without having to open 10 apps just to get your posts out there. So who's ready to go ahead and jump into this process? We're going to be going into actually building this. So please take note in the chat. We'll get to all of the questions at the very end. So there's going to be 3 parts to whenever we're building out the system that will allow us to attract our ideal clients, that will allow us to close more deals. This first part of this is going to be identifying what our brain is and basically getting our brain on paper. And I'll show you how to do that. Once we have our brain on paper, so this is imagine creating a clone of yourself, then we have to decide, where do we want to take our clients? Do we want to take them to book a call with us? Do we want to take them to send a text message to us? What is our goal? Where do we want to navigate people to? This is where we pick the one lane. Where do we want to point people? Once we have our brain, we identified our lane, which is where we are pushing people towards. Then we can fuel this with an engine. So this engine is going to be the system that turns your visibility, your content, into a lead. It's going to take your content through the lane that's going to get them to be a closed deal for you. So let's go ahead and build this together. This is what we call the clone and convert model. Everything we do is going to fit into these 3 pillars: your brain, your lane, your engine. And whenever you install this once, that's whenever things start growing. You're going to start seeing the compound effect, which means the one thing you're going to do today is going to sprout into 10 different opportunities into the future. So a quick understanding of what each of these also mean if you're taking notes here. Your brain is going to be your documents, your message. This is going to be the clone version of yourself. So imagine if we had 10 Masouds running around. Imagine how much work we would get done. That'd be pretty cool. Then we have your one lane. This is going to be where you are taking people to. Essentially, this is what you call your offer. Then we have the engine. This is where how we're getting people from social media into ours. And whenever we're thinking about this system, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite books that says, the great CEOs are lazy. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm a little lazy, but that doesn't mean that I'm careless, that I don't pay attention to any of the work. What this actually means is it's being resourceful and efficient with our time. So you can produce more with the same time with better tools. And so there's a reason that people don't like creating content, is because it takes way too much time. And that's why I'm so obsessed with AI. So let's go into building the brain with that in mind. So with your brain, what this means is we're basically creating a smarter version of you. This smarter version of you is going to be fueled by 3 documents. This first document is going to be your offer document. Then we have your story document. And then we have your voice document. These are going to be the 3 documents that are fueling your brain. With each of these documents, this is what's going to make your AI clone sound like you instead of a robot. It's good. It's going to be what makes it sound like you versus the realtor sitting next to you. You guys might be best friends, but it doesn't matter because you guys both have to get your own clients, right? So how are you different? Is it the way that you navigate or work with clients? Is it the way that you communicate? Is it the type of clients that you work with? This is what we're going to get clear on together. So with your brain, one of the tools that we're going to use to map this out. So one of the first documents, let's start off with the offer document and the story documents. With these two, what we recommend is having yourself sit down and conduct an interview with yourself so you can get everything out on the table. We find this to be easier than, sitting down and typing and answering all these questions. And it also allows us to capture your voice. So whenever you do a video recording of, let's say, your story, then you are able to capture the way that you communicate, your language patterns. Do you say y'all or do you say you all? Do you say hey or do you say what's up? What is the language that you communicate in? Your AI is going to pick up on that. So these are some of the tools that we're going to be using to build out our one brain. Take a screenshot of this. We'll use loom.com to record your story. This is where you're going to map out how you got to where you are. What business did you start with before? Have you always been in real estate, or did you come from a completely different background? How did you get to where you are today? Why do you only work with first-time home buyers versus working with, let's say, veterans? Is there a story behind that? That's what we're really looking for in your story. And I'll give you a prompt to help you with this process as well. Another part of your brain is we do want to fuel it with as much data and information as possible. So that's what we're doing here. Glass.co is a really great tool to allow you to find YouTube transcriptions. So let's say you did a podcast on YouTube, or maybe there's a podcast that really inspired you. You can get the YouTube transcript and actually train your brain to think like that. Let's go through an example. Let's say, you really liked a podcast that David Goggins did about discipline, and you really want your brain to be about discipline as well. You can get a YouTube transcript and use that to train your brain on that. So now your brain is trained with a little bit of David Goggins in there as well. It has that edge. The last tool that I'll also mention is we have Ocean of PDF. This is one of my favorites, right? So again, whenever we're thinking about our brain, we're thinking about, imagine if you were a kid and you were basically a sponge and you could put so much information into that sponge. That's what this brain is. So oceanofpdf.com is an app where you're able to download books, actually. So you'll be able to download your favorite book. Let's say it's going to be Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You can get that book and train your brain on how to use that book to help you create content. So the possibilities are endless whenever you have all 3 of these tools working together to help you get more data or information to fuel your brain. Once you have these, now we can go into some of these prompts. This first prompt is going to help you create your offer document. So an offer is more than just about what you do, or, hey, I'm a realtor who helps people in the DFW area. It's taking it a level further. So a way to think about this is, with most of the ideal client that you're working with, what is their current struggle and their desired outcome, and what is their situation that makes them unique? Let's create an offer specifically talking to that type of person. The goal here is to only solve one core problem with one specific situation, at least to get started with, so we can be hyper-focused with your content. So whenever we think about an offer, think about it as a bridge. On one side, your ideal client is stuck. They don't know what to do. They've tried working with other people, but maybe it didn't work out. And on the other side of this bridge, there's you. You're helping them get to their ideal outcome. And so we're going to map out what that is. This prompt is going to allow you to get clarity on this if you feel like you're not sure how to communicate what makes you different. If you feel like you're not sure how to communicate who you are and who you like to work with. So go ahead and take a screenshot of this prompt here. We'll go ahead and read through it for just a moment. It says, you are a high-level offer messaging strategist who uses a 3-part framework: the offer clarity framework, the avatar builder framework, and the transformation journey mapping framework. You write like a conversion copywriter, guide like a coach, and extract truth like a therapist. Always one deep, clarifying question at a time. When you use this prompt, it is going to act almost like a form. It's going to ask you, let's say 3 to 5 or 10 to 12 questions to help you get clarity. So imagine if you had a coach navigating this for you. Now you can just have a conversation with AI about this to help you get clarity. So it'll help you get clarity on your offer. Once you get done with that, it'll map out exactly who your ideal avatar is, and it'll map out the transformation that they are looking to go through. What does that look like? Let's say that might look like somebody who's a first-time home buyer. Their transformation will be going from living to apartment to figuring out how to organize their finances to finally buying their first house. That would be an example. This will be different for anybody that you work with. Thumbs up. Everybody got a screenshot of this prompt? Yes? Perfect. Perfect. This is one of the most important documents that we're going to upload into our brain. The second document is our story document. So this is going to be where we use a tool, loom.com, the one that I mentioned earlier. And this is where it's going to allow you to conduct an interview with yourself. With this prompt, it's going to ask you a few questions on your backstory, where you come from, how you got to where you are, and also where you're going. And then not only that, is it's going to turn all of this into a book. So you could technically use this as your bio. You could use this to post on social media. It's going to turn this and organize it into a book. So that way it's easier for the AI to understand your story in almost like a narrative type of way, right? So it's actually, you see the arc of where you were, how you got to where you are, and then where you're going. So this is what's called the hero's journey. And the last and final document is our voice document. What we are going to do here is we're going to take that interview that we just did and we're going to analyze our voice. So this is how we get our AI to understand how to talk like us. So it's going to look at our tone, our vocabulary patterns, maybe some phrases that we say. It's going to look at your pacing and your rhythm and your storytelling style. So what kind of stories do you tell? Are they teaching stories? Are they funny stories? Are you more of, the class clown? Or are you more of the guy who is giving wisdom to people? So with these 3 documents, it is basically building the foundation of your second brain, making sure it knows everything about you, your voice, and your story. And this is what's going to make you stand out from everybody else. So everybody thumbs up 100% with this before we go on to the next level. We're going to go a level deeper here. Who's ready? Perfect. Now we're going to go into our brain. So our brain, or our lane, our lane is going to allow us to clarify our goal. You can't scale, you can't grow if you're running like you have your chicken with your head cut off and you're running in 10 different directions. Whenever we're creating our one lane, this creates focus with one offer, one message, and one outcome for our ideal client. So let's talk about your lane, because if you can't identify this, it's going to be really, really hard to get this process to work for you. So our lane is our conversion path. What does this mean for you? For you, this might look like having calls booked, having people call you. This might look like, getting people to show up to a lunch and learn. This might be different for everybody. So let's identify what that one lane is going to be for your business. And I want this to be as specific as possible, whether it's going to be to call your team member, it's going to call you directly. That's going to make a huge difference in how you communicate this. So let's figure out what our one lane is. Once we've identified that, then we can start plugging this in to an engine that can start running for you. So this automated system is going to take people from being strangers on the internet to wanting to actually work with you. And the first step of this is going to be building out an email list. Raise your hand if you have an email list. You have a list of emails of people who would potentially want to work with you. Okay. Raise your hand if you understand the most importance of an email list. Yeah, okay, I see one person on Jennifer's team. The email list is going to be your biggest asset in this digital age. Social media is great. Having a lot of followers is really fun. But what happens if Instagram shuts down tomorrow? What happens if they take down your account and everything that you've built for the past 3 years gets taken down in one night? What are you left with? What can you do? Are you going to go back to cold calling? Are you going to go back to cold emailing? Are you going to go back to going to every single networking event in your area? Or can you go back to your email list? Your email list is going to be your safety net. This is the most important asset that you have in this digital age, because if anything, worst case scenario happens, you have an email list to reach out to, an email list of potential ideal clients that you can go to and see if they're interested in working with you at any given point. So now that we understand what our brain is, we understand our lane, which will be to get people to book calls with us, and we understand what an engine is, which is the automated system to get people from being a stranger into being a client. Now we can take a look at what this engine would actually look like for your business. Every single business needs to have a flow like this. And yes, even real estate agents need to have a lead magnet. I'll explain what that means. So this is what it looks like to take strangers from the internet on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn. And what we're going to do is we're going to incentivize them to get into our world, to get onto our email list. What a lead magnet is it's something that you're going to give away for free in exchange for their email. Let's go through some examples of a lead magnet. This might be a brochure about, the top areas in, let's say the top neighborhoods in your area. Maybe it's a ebook about things to do in Dallas for somebody, let's say from California, who's moving out here. Let's say it could be a quick video breakdown of, how to get ready for the home buying process for first-time home buyers. These are 3 examples of lead magnets that we have ran for other real estate professionals that help you build your email list. So take a note of, based off who my ideal client is, what is something that I could offer them of value? This is your lead magnet here. So once we start giving away our lead magnet, they come into our email list, and now we can take them wherever we want them to go. We could take them to book a call with us to start going through some showings, or we could take them to some education, whatever that looks like for you. So this is the image of the engine actually running itself. We have our brain. Let's pull out my, here you go. We have our brain. Imagine this is a brain fueling our content. We have our lane, which is our focus, taking them to one specific goal. And this system as a whole is what's your engine working together. Now we have all of these pieces essentially working for us. Isn't that nice? Oops. Oh no. One second, I need to share my screen again. Apologies for that. I clicked out on the wrong one. There we go. Perfect. Can everybody see my screen again? Perfect. So the reason that this works when everything else doesn't, is because it's simple. It's simple because it's trained on you. It's structured to help you get clients, and it's built to scale without having you burnt out. So with every brain, every lane, every engine that we have just put in, everything that we've dissected over the past 3 years, this is the simplest process for you to get results as smoothly and as quickly as possible. And whenever you get to the other side, you'll have emails, you'll have an actual brand authority. You'll have people who are dying to work with you and ready to get onto your schedule. And that's the difference between, just creating AI generated content that's not built with your brain, with your voice, that is not focused towards one specific lane. That is the difference between having this engine work for you versus anything that might just feel scattered and a little all over the place. So having this together is going to be your unfair advantage, right? You saw the difference with what we just did. Who here, raise your hand if you feel like having a clone of yourself, or a clone of yourself, or having your brain next to you would really help you just start taking more action, being more consistent with social media. Yeah, got some hands in here. And the good news about this is that you don't have to be technical for this to work. You don't have to be somebody who's on the computer 24/7. All I need for you in order for this to work is maybe 30 minutes of your time. We're going to go into how do you actually build this without getting overwhelmed. So we're going to start plugging some of the pieces together. We got a high level overview of how the system works. Now let's put it into practice. I really needed you to understand why we are doing this, why this process is going to be good for you. So who's ready to build out their clone? Yes? Woohoo! Let's do it. So let's clone ourselves with ChatGPT. You do have Copilot as well, which is going to be a great tool. We're going to be using ChatGPT in this training to allow you to build out your brain. Again, you will have this recording as well, so feel free to go through this or message me on Instagram if you need some help with building out your clone. I am more than happy to answer any questions. My Instagram is here. It's the same username on Facebook, YouTube, so message me anywhere that would be convenient for you. So let's start building out your clone together. So we're going to take all of that information that we just got and we're going to put it into your brain. The way that we do this is by building out what's called a custom GPT. So a custom GPT is something you can train on you. You can define how it talks, you can define how it thinks, and all you have to do is upload some files into there and it'll start working for you. The reason that we do this compared to just starting a new ChatGPT conversation is if you're somebody who's using ChatGPT or even Copilot, you might notice that the longer the conversation gets, the more it starts forgetting what you said earlier. The more that it starts hallucinating, it's not doing what you want it to do, and you start getting frustrated and you kind of want to just shut your computer down and go talk to a real person, and maybe you'll get the answers you're looking for. So what this is going to allow you to do is upload the files, and it's going to remember it forever. It's only going to make decisions based off the files that you uploaded. Again, regular chat, another downside of this is you have to re-prompt it. This is what you might see on social media of those really, really long. This allows us to avoid that. And now we can just talk to it like a normal human without having to become a prompt engineer. So with a custom GPT, it's going to know your brand, your tone, your voice, and it's going to be custom built specifically for you and your business. Again, you do not have to be technical in order for this to work. Just take the screenshots over the next few slides and you'll be able to follow this shortly after. It should take you maybe 30 minutes, your first time doing it. And once you do it the first time, then it's going to be a little addicting and you'll probably build out a couple more. So if you have ChatGPT, you need to have the $20 a month version in order for this to work for you. And so if you go to your ChatGPT on your computer, these are the exact steps that it's going to take for you to build this out. So I see some people on Vanessa's team, on Adrian's team, has their computer out. If you have ChatGPT open, go ahead and follow these images along, and you'll be able to see exactly what we are talking about here. So in ChatGPT, you're going to see a button that says Explore GPTs. Whenever you click on that, it's going to take you to an interface that looks like this, and you're just going to see a Create button here. You're going to click on that Create button, and it's going to open up a dashboard. This dashboard is where we're just going to upload our files, and that is all we're going to do to start. this is what the dashboard is going to look like. What you're going to see here is it has the knowledge base. And you're just going to press upload files. So what are we doing here? We are uploading the offer document that we got from our prompt earlier. We are uploading our story document that we got from our prompt earlier. We are also uploading our voice document from the prompt earlier. Now you see, basically all we're doing is pressing copy and paste. And that is it. Once that is done, you can test it, and this is what it will look like. So this is the assistant that I have built for my business. This assistant is, I give this to my executive assistant. I give this to anybody on our team who's going to be helping us with marketing. And it knows everything about me and my story. And so all I need to type in is write a LinkedIn post. And the LinkedIn post is already catered towards my business and my ideal audience. I can even have it turn that one post into an email. And so you see here, I named it my Marketecture Assistant, and it navigates exactly like a normal conversation. And all I did was upload a couple documents to build this out. Isn't that insane? You can now build a bot for your business and give it to your team to run everything for you. You can now build a bot for your business to help you have leverage if you are a one-person team. If you are solo, now you can have a clone of yourself so you don't have to think about content anymore. This will be trained on your voice to help you write content now. That is the power of having this AI clone, and this is the most important thing moving forward. Who here is aware of Alex Hormozi, maybe Tony Robbins? Who else? Yeah, Tony Robbins. I feel like that's a really popular one. Let me tell you a crazy story. Tony Robbins has built out a custom GPT, or his AI clone, his AI brain. He's built out the second brain, and now he is selling this to other people. You can go online and look up Tony Robbins AI, and you can talk to Tony Robbins. And it's years of Tony Robbins experiences, his story, everything about him. His books are uploaded into there. And so if you're not ready to, invest, let's say tens of thousands to work with Tony Robbins, at least you can talk to his AI, can get his perspective. It's going to sound exactly like him. And it probably also has his voice embedded into it. Isn't that insane? You're going to start seeing this trend moving forward, where we have these major players, these big influencers who are giving you access to their brain. And all you have to do is use it. You can now be that person for yourself, for your team, for your local industry. And you can start using this tool to help you create leverage in the AI world. This is going to beat any random AI tool out there because this has a context of who you are and what you do. So how do we now, with everything we've talked about, how do we use this to actually create content? That's the juicy part, right? Everybody's like, okay, this is great. How do I create content with this now? What does this look like? So with content creation, the best thing that you can do is don't focus on the creation part, focus on the content part and getting as much attention out there as possible. The way to do this is by doing market research. So just like how you do this with, whenever you're looking at properties, you're doing a CMA or a market analysis, we're doing the same thing with content creation. We're going to be looking for proven hooks that already work. So what this means is now that we have our clone, let's go out and study competitors to figure out what content are they putting out there. What are the hooks that they're using? The hook is going to be the first sentence that they're saying. This is going to be the first part of this. Do market research on content before you create your next piece of content. The point of research is to make creativity optional. So obviously you're going to add your personal flair, your personal story into here, but instead of just slapping ideas onto a wall and hoping this sticks now, you'll be able to create content that's already validated, that you already know works for other people, but now we're just going to customize it for ourselves and for our brand. Now it's going to be able to be primed to help you get clients and not just be consistent for the sake of being consistent. So what we are doing here is we are plugging our AI brain with proven frameworks of content that works. And this is going to fuel your content system. Let me show you what this actually looks like here. The first thing that we're going to start with is understanding 4 different types of content. These are very simple 4 types. The best way to think about this is doing maybe one post, one type of content a day. So Mondays you do transformation, Tuesdays you do value, Wednesdays you do stories, and Thursdays you do offer. What does this look like in the real estate space? Number 1, transformation. Here's how my client went from A to Z. My client was struggling with X, we did Z, and now she's here at A. Talking about the transformation of your client. Value. Teaching people what you do. Flipping beliefs that, hey, you thought you needed this to buy a house, but actually there's another way to do it. Value is shifting perspectives. Teaching people something that they don't already know. Story. This is something just relatable. Hey, I was in Ecuador last week, and while I was at the top of the mountain, I was thinking about how, a lot of people think that they need to work harder instead of smarter. Then you just tell a story. Number 4 is offer. This is where you ask for business. Hey, if you're looking to buy or sell your home, call me, message me. Understand these 4 types of content. It is my deep belief that in order to use AI the right way, we need to understand why we're making it work the way that we work. So these are the 4 types of content, but I already made this easier for you, of course. We've already studied thousands of posts. We've already done the research for you. We've already broken down the frameworks. And so just for, the birthday of Coldwell Banker, go ahead and get your free viral content bot. So this viral content bot is already trained on probably over 2,000 pieces of viral content. Whenever you get this bot, it's just going to pull up and you'll be able to ask it, create a viral piece of content for my business. And it'll start creating those hooks for you. It'll start creating those ideas for you. So now you don't have to worry so much about, what do I post? Do I need to do research? And you'll just come and you'll use this bot to basically take the easy path. With this bot, it's not only going to help you create the viral content, it'll also help you repurpose this content into different formats. So if you're posting on Instagram, if you're posting on LinkedIn, if you're posting on Facebook, this will help you repurpose this into multiple different formats as well. And this is just the beginning of the content process. Whenever you start using this is going to help you start staying consistent with content creation, but it's also going to turn this into a powerhouse. So I am going to go over some of my favorite AI tools in order for you to really streamline this process. This is going to help you go from, recording content 10 hours a week to only having to do this maybe 2 hours a week. Wouldn't that nice to cut this time down of content creation so you can focus on what you're good at? Negotiating, sales, working with clients, getting them good results. So we'll come back to the slide in just a moment. Here we have what this process looks like on a high level view. This process starts with your AI marketing assistant, the brain that we just built out. We're going to funnel this into the viral content bot that you just received. And with this viral content bot, you're able to create content. With this content, you might have text-based content. This will look like LinkedIn post or Facebook post. And you also have video content. This will look like TikToks or Instagram Reels. And I'm now going to show you 2 tools to help you clone yourself, create an AI twin, an AI avatar using AI. So these are the 2 tools. You'll be able to create your AI twin in minutes. All you really have to do is upload 1 to 5 minutes of yourself talking. The first tool is going to be HeyGen, heygen.com. Here we have it right here. HeyGen.com is amazing for creating AI clone. This allows you to basically create a version of yourself. I could record a quick video of me here, And now all I have to do is take the scripts that my viral content bot wrote for me and copy and paste them into HeyGen. That's it. Copy and paste the scripts my viral content bot wrote for me. Another tool is going to be Captions AI. This one is going to be more of a simple setup. So if you're not quote unquote techie, I'd recommend starting with Captions AI. Again, they both work the same way. You upload 1 to 5 minutes of yourself talking and it'll create an AI version of you here. Literally your face, it's going to be your voice, and basically clone. You never have to record content ever again. So if we're looking at the pricing options between these two, Captions is going to be the more affordable option. This is going to be $9.99 a month. That's all you would need to start out with. This will allow you to create your AI clone and also create the captions or editing. You can edit your clone or edit your videos as well with this. HeyGen is $29 a month. It does not have video editing included. It is only creating your AI avatar for you. It's only going to take the scripts and create a version of you talking for that. I would recommend if you are just getting started, start out with Captions in order to clone your digital self and use HeyGen if you feel comfortable with technology. Start using HeyGen, play around with it. There are a lot of videos online of how to do this. And if you've seen any of these AI generated influencers, this is the tool that they use. This is their secret weapon. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I hope this was helpful. If you didn't get a chance to get the viral content bot, here is the QR code as well. And let's go ahead and I'll give it off to Madeline for the next steps. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat and we'll get to those here at the end.
Awesome. Wow, so much great information. I want to see if anyone has any questions. Feel free to come off chat. If you're in a watch party, feel free to come up to the computer and ask your questions. Put them in the chat. If there's anything that you want Natalie to go over again, just let us know.
Can I put the flowchart back up? Oh yeah, for sure. Let's get that going. There we go.
We've all heard about Captions AI, and a few sales rally from the beginning of the year. Did anybody go and create their own AI twin? Anybody have any success stories with it, or was it a little creepy?
Maybe a little.
So Natalie, I love I love the idea of prompting the GPT to ask you all the questions
Yes.
so that it then gets to know you and who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just tell it what you're trying, the story you want to tell. And then on
Exactly.
top of it, so you could actually do it yourself or have your AI twin do it for you.
Exactly. That's the goal of this is that's my big belief is that we want to have this AI clone to write scripts, write content that is not generic, that allows you to stand out. And so the easiest way to build this, especially if you have never used ChatGPT before, maybe you don't feel comfortable using a computer, just use those prompts that we put up earlier and it'll act as a coach and interview through the entire process.
Great. And I think it was Loretta had a great question. Do you have anything you can share with us, maybe on screen of what this actually looks like?
Do we want to see my AI clone?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
All right, so let me pull it up.
And maybe you can answer this really quick too. Can you confirm the ChatGPT you used? Is it ChatGPT 5 Pro?
Yeah,
Or
good
is this
question.
before 5?
Either one works actually. So I use I will actually show you. So let's see. Let me pull this up.
Well, yeah, I just want to. You have like a blur on.
I know. I don't know what's
So
going
you're
on.
blurry, not just your background.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there we go. I just had to turn it off and back on. There we
There you
go.
go.
Oh no. Okay, perfect. Can everybody see my clone here?
Yes.
We see your architecture.
Perfect. Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. So you'll see here, this is ChatGPT 5. However, I can change it to 4 if I need to. So I can use any model and this will still work for you. So Jennifer, I hope that answers your question. So we'll just use 4.0 just for the sake of example. We're going to ask this to create a LinkedIn post about AI for filters. You'll see all of these clones that I have built on the side. Again, once you build one, it becomes addicting. So you'll see here, it went ahead and wrote this AI or this LinkedIn post for me. Now this is what's going to make this powerful. I'm going to say, embed my story. I don't have to give it my story again. It already has that context, so I don't have to remind it. The difference between these ChatGPT versions, there's not too much of a difference. If you are somebody who's just getting started using AI, I wouldn't focus too much on that. But if you are somebody, the biggest difference that I have found is 4.0 is more empathetic. It's a little bit more humanizing, and GPT-5 is a little bit more robotic. It follows your instructions very well, but it's not as empathetic as 4.0. So a quick little funny backstory is over the past year or so since 4.0 came out, this is the ChatGPT model, people started using ChatGPT as a therapist. Then 5 came out and it stopped being empathetic, and so people stopped using it as a therapist. So it's just really funny how people are using it. All right, let's go back to this example. So you can see here that I went ahead and it took my story, and you'll see it's talking about, let's see here, replacing myself. That's part of my story. I used to do everything in my business. These are all the things I would do. I looked successful from the outside, but I was drowning. This is a true story. I was running a marketing company. I had a team of 14 people. I felt like I was drowning in it, and so I decided to cut everything back and start using AI, and that allowed me to spring forward. So this LinkedIn post is about my story, and it's aligned with that ideal audience of realtors. So let's see here. I also want to show you something really cool. Now that I have my assistant built, I can actually connect it to my viral content bot. I can have my bots talk to each other. So it's having a team of robots, almost like having employees. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to press the @ sign. I'm going to type in viral content bot, and I'm going to say create content ideas / hooks. You'll see that the viral content bot, let me zoom in. This viral content bot is going to create hooks for me. And you can already see immediately that these hooks aren't generic and they could stand out. And it'll also identify the type of hook. So we have the tutorial hook. Here's how top agents are using ChatGPT to convert cold leads without sounding like a robot. I've probably said that like 10 times today, so that sounds like me. Comparison hook, traditional agents, 100 calls a week, modern agents, one system that does it all for them. This sounds exactly like me. Like every single time I use this, I'm very shocked, which is awesome. Let's see here. Mistake hook, the biggest mistake I made. The biggest mistake I see agents make with AI, they treat it like a toy, not a team member. Woo, that's good. That's good. Does this help you see how powerful this is now? I didn't have to do any fancy prompting. I just said create content ideas and hooks, and it already has that knowledge base. It already has that information in order for it to connect with my brand. Isn't that awesome? Someone asked, can you show us how to create a custom GPT? I have a Plus account, but your prompts were different than mine. I did not give the prompt showed. Okay, great. So raise your hand if you took a screenshot of the prompts I gave earlier in the presentation. The screenshot should be of the offer, the story document, and the voice document. You have those 3. So I don't want to go too deep into this, but I'll show you what this looks like. What you're going to start off with is just a normal conversation. And let's copy and paste one of the prompts, let's say, so I can show you what this looks like. There we go. So I'm just going to paste this and I'm going to say, oops, I just copy and pasted the prompt. You're probably going to do the same thing. And I'm going to say, do the prompt. Perfect. So it just extracted the text of the prompt for me. Perfect. So now I'm just going to copy and paste this. Again, this is because I took a screenshot of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that prompt and you're going to start a new conversation. And whenever you copy and paste the prompt, what it's going to do is it's going to start asking you 10 to 12 questions to help you get clarity on, let's say, your offer. So it's almost like a form or like a coach who's going to ask you these questions one by one. That's what these prompts are going to look like. Once I answer all of these questions, it's going to give me a summary. And with that summary, I'm going to download that summary so I can upload it into my bot. So let's see here. If I were to upload this into my bot, I'm going to click on GPTs here. Everybody see that on their screen? Again, you need to have the $20 a month version in order for this to work for you. You're going to press create. I'll name this Masood. I'm going to pick on you here, Masood bot. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the files. So I'm just going to upload some of my files into here. And that's it. We just want to make sure that this last button is on. This basically means that it's going to allow it to read the documents. That's important. And now you have the foundation of your bot. So I'm actually just going to name this Natalie bot. So it has my business documents, and I'll be able to test it and say, what is my offer? Boom, I uploaded those documents. I didn't even add instructions yet, and it already is doing this for me. It knows what my offer is, my value ladder, what clients actually buy from you, freedom from being the bottleneck, predictable client flow, a business that runs while they sleep. That's pretty cool, right? Where do you get your files? Yeah, great question, Stephanie. So like Madeline said, we'll share all of these prompts with you shortly after the call. What you're going to do is you're just going to copy and paste these into a chat. And that's where you're going to get your documents from. So basically, the conversation you're having with your chat that these prompts are going to start for you are going to be what you take into your knowledge base. And again, if you have any questions about this, we just did a training on this 2 weeks ago, a week ago or something. So message me on Instagram if you do have any questions, or Facebook as well. My handle is in my name here on Teams. And so you'll be able to answer any questions here. Gotcha. I didn't realize the prompts you sent are the prompts. We try to make this as easy as possible. So that's why we gave these prompts, is so that way you don't have to do any guessing anymore, right? You'll use these prompts, you just copy and paste it. You don't have to guess, you don't have to do any extra steps. The goal of this is basically copy and paste. That's it. Can we get them on email with a step-by-step process? That's a great question, Luis. Let's see here. What I can do is, if you downloaded the viral content bot, that means you're on my email list. And so let's say tomorrow we'll send out an email with the step-by-step process. So just make sure to check your email, make sure I don't go into spam, and you'll stay up to date with all the new information we'll put out there.
We'll send a
That's a good
recap
point.
as well.
Natalie went to spam, I think, or we went, yeah, I think Natalie went to our spam first time we exchanged emails. So make sure you're checking that.
Very important. Yep. Any last questions that we have here?
Anything, y'all? No? So Natalie, just to break it down a little bit, your prompts you put into ChatGPT, and then you take the responses of that and then you put it in your own Word document.
Yep.
And then that's what you use to upload back into the custom ones.
Exactly that.
Okay. It sounds so simple, right?
It really is, right? The goal of this is copy and paste. You do it one time, boom.
Yeah. Put
Never have to-
in a few minutes for talking back and forth with ChatGPT. Put in that effort, and then you only have to do this one time, and then you have your brand new second brain forever,
Exactly.
basically.
Like
Exactly,
in
right?
Frisco. Looks like Frank's got a question. Oh, he typed it in.
Once you have the custom bot, what's next? Oh man, Frank, the world is your oyster at this point. So with this, you'll be able to fuel your content system. I can kind of paint the vision of how our clients are using the custom bot that we've built out for them. So they use it for content. They're also using it to create processes or SOPs. I forgot what SOPs stand for, like system of processes, or Masood, do you know?
Standard operating practice.
Standard operating procedures. There you go. So they'll create SOPs, create onboarding documents with their bot. They are creating scripts for YouTube videos. They're creating email newsletters. They're creating sales pages. Basically anything in their business could be funneled through the bot because it has the context of that.
Ali, do you have, are you able to do a quick demo of your actual AI twin
Yeah, let's do it.
talking, doing a script that you've prompted it to do?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. All right, let me pull out my A twin. Okay, so this is my AI twin here. Again, this is the one that I use for basically everything in my business. So Masood, I'll let you prompt me. What question do we want to ask?
Yeah, so I'm not a social media expert, but I'd like to create a system that allows me to post content regularly.
So that's a little hack that I do. I honestly never type. I always use this microphone feature and I just talk to my AI all day. So you might see me at a coffee shop here in Frisco looking like a crazy person yelling at my computer.
And be careful what you say around her, because I didn't know she was going to record me there. So,
Oh yeah. I didn't want to type it out. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to press the @ sign. I'm going to connect my viral content bot. Again, all I did was the @ sign. Now these bots are going to talk to each other. So once you build your own bot, Masood, you'll be able to do the exact same thing now that you got the viral content bot. There we go. It's going to search its knowledge. And now it's going to build out a plan for me. And you already see it's asking me a few clarifying questions. And it's going to create a schedule for me on exactly what to do. So that way you understand the strategy behind it. Perfect. So I'll say, my bot already knows the answer to all of these questions. So please answer these questions on my behalf and create a 14-day content calendar for Instagram. So now what I'm basically reinforcing it to do is I'm telling my bot, my Marketecture assistant, to tell the viral content bot, hey, you already have all the answers to these questions. Answer it for me, right? This is whenever you have your AI bot, your AI assistant, now you can be a little, like that book I referenced, great CEOs are lazy. Now you can be a little bit lazy and say, hey, bot, answer these questions for me. You already know the answers to this. So now it's analyzing the documents, looking for the answers to the questions. And now it'll also start creating a 14-day content calendar for us. You'll see it's going to clarify the content types. It'll have the different types into here. It'll create a plan. Okay, great. This looks like a great 14-day content plan. Now say plug in the hooks. You'll also see here at the bottom, it's always gonna, this viral content bot is always trained to give you the next step. So it's gonna say, hey, do you want me to write the captions, the slides? Do you want me to create templates for you? Really, so you don't have to do anything. So I'm gonna say, this content calendar plan looks great for the next 14 days. Can you create the hooks for each of these for talking head videos? Talking head videos would be, I'm recording these with my phone. There we go. Does it help to see the prompting process each step of the way? Good. Perfect. And so now we have here our 14-day content calendar. Perfect. It started today, so I could post this today. This hook would be, everyone teaches you to post more, but what if consistency is killing your growth? Oof, I would say that. That's good. I like that. The next 14 days, I verify these. Then I'll just tell it, great, all of these hooks are good. Let's go ahead and create full scripts for this. Send. So now that I've approved all of the hooks, I can make any necessary changes. Then I can tell it, great, go ahead and create the full scripts. Now that I have the full scripts, I can go to Captions AI, I can go to HeyGen and just copy and paste the scripts into there. And now my AI avatar can create this content for me.
Genius.
Right? And it's custom. It's not, that's the biggest point that I want to make here is it's not generic content. It's going to allow you to still stand out and stay unique to you. So here we have the first 14-day scripts. Break it down. Let's read this one. Everyone teaches you to post more, but what if consistency is killing your growth? You've been showing up online, posting consistently, doing everything they told you, but it's not leading to clients. So my marketing brain is looking at this and making sure it looks good. Hook is strong. It's digging into the pain points here. Then it goes into the truth. Truth is consistency alone doesn't convert. What works is positioning, messaging, and content that mirrors how your best clients think. Once I taught AI to speak my client's language, lead flow became predictable. That's everything I talked about today, right? Perfect. So then I could just copy and paste this into my AI avatar, create my AI video, and start
Can we see
posting them.
that?
That might take a little bit of time.
Okay, no worries.
Have enough time for that today.
No worries, no worries.
No worries. But you see what this process looks like. We have our content calendar into here. You'll use it looks like it's being repetitive. Oh no. So we'll make any necessary changes to that. And once we have all of our AI avatar scripts and videos generated, you can use a tool like buffer.com. I'll go ahead and put that into the chat. Buffer.com. And buffer.com is a great tool to schedule posts. So again, you maybe focus 2 hours a week on this. You use Buffer to schedule your post, and now your posts are completely automated. They're posted for you.
Amazing.
Does that help, Musu, kind of see the process? Does this help anybody?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the demo was invaluable. Yeah, I think it was really good to see you go step by step. Step by step, you saw the hook, then you added on the script. Yeah, that was great. Is there a cost for buffer.com?
So to get started, it will be free. I believe for the first 3 platforms you add on to there. And then after that, it's $5 a month per platform.
Meta Business Suite is free and available for all Meta users. That takes care of scheduling posts for Instagram and Facebook, y'all. So if you need, a free version, Meta Business Suite is available, and then it would take you a couple more minutes to add it on to the other platforms that you may be using. But I think this audience Instagram and Facebook, those are the top ones that we're using
Mhm.
anyway.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty solid.
I've got a good question. I think he threw it in the chat. How often does he have to change for clothing, scenery, backgrounds, etc.? What do you recommend there?
I would do once a month at least, minimum. I think guys can kind of get away with this easier than girls. So if you're a guy, just wear a black t-shirt in every single one of your videos, then you can kind of get away with wearing the same thing over and over again.
Mhm. Once a month is a good schedule. Maybe once every other month.
Right. I agree. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Perfect. How powerful was that? Woo! Everybody just built their AI
Incredible.
today. That's amazing.
Yes, I know what I'm spending my afternoon doing now.
Yes, good.
Expect to see the internet flooded with a bunch of virtual Coldwell Banker agents.
Yeah, right? That would be amazing,
100%.
right? We'll take any last questions. I know we have about 10 minutes left. So, hey, like you saw, I am willing to show the behind the scenes of anything. If you guys want to see more prompting, any questions about how to build the bot, more than open to. So, Frank, to answer your question, you will post on, let's say, Instagram or Facebook, and we'll go with Madeline's suggestion. You can use Meta Business Suite. I'll go ahead and type that into the chat. And this will schedule post for you.
And I could probably guess the next question is there a cost to that?
Meta
Business
Business Suite is
Suite, no.
free. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meta Business Suite is free. So whenever you create the AI avatar with scripts, it usually takes around like 5-ish minutes to process. So that's why I don't want to do too many right now. My computer might freeze, and yeah, no, I don't want that to happen.
That's fine.
I don't know if there's a hand up. It looks like there might be a hand up or, oh, it's Frank. I don't know if there's another question or I'll lower his hand.
Awesome, y'all. Well, Natalie, this has been really educational. I really appreciate your time. We're gonna get some content together for a follow-up and a recap.
Yep.
If there's anything that you'd like for me to include in that, just let me know. But we really appreciate your time and thanks for being here.
Awesome. Love it.
Thank you so much, Natalie.
Before we hop off, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
a picture with everybody. So everybody just put their hands up. Let's go. Awesome. Thank you everybody for being here. I hope it was as much value as possible. And have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. See ya.
So,
Bye.
bye everyone. Thanks for joining us. Happy birthday, CB.
Happy birthday, TV.
Have a great week, y'all.